everyone. Welcome to beautiful R.O.A.R Sisterhood. Thank you so much for those who are watching live or those who catch the replay. I'd love you to comment. I'd love you to any takeaways that come to you when you're either watching this live or the recording. If you're doing the recording, just put hashtag recording. So I want to get. Have I got my I have a special announcement. Do I have my announcing? Haha, there you go. A bit of play. I find I think play is one of my superpowers. So I've got my kazoo, and this is a very good instrument to play with. So I'm going to announce with absolute pleasure. I have a wonderful guest here on Authentic Conversations with Mandy Morris, presenting. Just in case you were taking yourself too seriously, this is a serious topic, but it's also, look, I feel particularly in this time, it's so important to find some lightness, you know. But I'm so grateful to have this beautiful sister, one of the sisters in this beautiful community, Mirella de Mondo. Do I say that name right? I love your last name, Mirella de Mondo. Mirella de Mondo. I'm not sure what your heritage is, but I love that name. It's beautiful. Yeah. An absolute pleasure to have you here. She is an Aussie sister. So it's quite a joy to have an Aussie sister here. And better still, Mirella actually just lives down the road from me. So I know that she is three-dimensional because we've actually seen each other. She's not existing just in this little rectangle, but she's real and passionate and comes with such a wealth of knowledge and passion, and you just don't want to miss out. You know, if you have a chance to connect and work with Mirella anytime, I would really grab it. So Mirella actually, she in terms of naming what she does, Mirella is a trauma and freedom coach. So without further ado, welcome, Mirella. How fantastic to have you here.
Thank you. I am delighted. And I'm delighted to, with your playfulness, and even when we approach hard things like boundaries, we don't have to be serious about everything all the time. There's times we can be playful about it. A lot of people think growth means you have to be really serious, or if you have a boundary, you can do things at the right time seriously, at the right time with a sense of humor.
Yeah,
and to be creative, in how you do it.
Yeah, and just to be open to this journey of life. And sometimes things feel a bit hard, and that's okay. It's just to go with the flow of it and stop pushing up river and going with the flow of the stream. So I'm always really curious. I love to find out how people get to do what they're doing. So how did you find yourself in this line of work? What brought you here?
I think I was always a freedom lover. I traveled a lot. I traveled the world. And then I realized there's many ways that I found that even though I lived a free lifestyle, there were many ways in which I wasn't free of my old conditioning. And it started off with mindset. And then I realized that, there were traumatic events in my life that had a huge impact. And no matter how free I was on the external, I had to free myself internally. And that's what brought me to this work. I could see the limitations in myself and also in clients. And I had to dive deeper.
Absolutely. And I so relate. I mean, this is very much about what so many coaches and myself included, I'm teaching what I've learned, or am still learning, continue to learn, because I know what it's like to not be living from that place of freedom, and wanting to really share that with other people and give them the tools that I've been exploring, that you've been exploring.
Yeah. So true. So true.
Yeah.
And just coming to terms with how, how difficult events in your life, whether they've been childhood or through different periods, can, even also knock the wind out of your sails.
Yeah.
And really prevent you from enjoying life to the fullest, in being yourself to the fullest, because there's these, these little shadows in the background that we've been too scared to look at, or we've pushed away, or we've, brushed under the carpet. But until we can face these things, and like I said, it can be with serious, it can be with feeling, it can be with laughter, it can be many ways, but until we can actually face it and own it, and do whatever it takes, we're never free of these pieces.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I really relate to that. And I think one of the really important things that I address in what I do as well is supporting people to know that they're far more than any sort of circumstance, situational condition, and not to have what happened in the past define their future, which is so often I see, if people have a lot of trauma or have had, they bring that and they live that for the rest of their life. And I feel, I really feel for them, and I think, oh my God, I can see how much potential and how much beauty and how much you have to gift to the world, So I think what you do is fantastic to really support them to connect with that and to move them through that. That is, and to to hold the space for people to go through and be in those sticky places. That takes a lot of talent and compassion and skill.
And it's very scary too, to even reach out to people when you're in that space, because often we feel like we're flawed or we're broken. And I know for years I couldn't even reach out to people to speak stuff. And
I'd love to sort of, if anyone, if you're watching this, when you're watching it, who has trouble, like it's who in their life has had trouble either now, in the past, or still in the present, reaching out, because I know I know from my own, experience, it's still challenging to, particularly when I'm feeling messy, to reach out and to say, hey, I just I need a hug. I need a cup of tea. I just need to go bleh. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, messy, instead of looking at it as broken, it's maybe just saying, hey, this is messy.
I just that when you said broken, I don't forgotten the name of what it's called, but I think it's a Japanese culture, when there's a broken vase and then they mend it with the gold, and the broken part is where the light comes, where you get the light that comes through. That's where the gifts are. There is a particular name. It's they mend something, but it's not the brokenness is where the gifts are. The magic and the learning and the expansion comes from sometimes those dark places, those traumas, those messy times. That's where the big growth comes.
Yeah, and even crystals and diamonds have flaws.
I like
it's all part of the unique makeup. So I think the important thing is just to shove away the shame of it, and just realize that you're not broken, you're not alone. It's of course you have to feel safe, you need to know who you're going to reach out to with these things, but it's really important not to isolate and to try and figure stuff out by yourself. It's so important to get support from others.
Yeah, I think that's such a big learning. That's been such a big learning for me. And
be it a therapist, be it a group. I just recommend don't go to your close friends or family unless your friends are very involved, because that can be messy.
I've certainly appreciated, over this time with me stepping into being a coach, like opening myself up to community. And, we have tools that we can kind of support each other without getting too messy together, which is fantastic. So, to have someone like you as a coach or a mentor is, you've got the tools to be there fully for people, not being friends, not being family, having that compassion and those, the experience of taking people on a journey. It's just such a gift you have to offer. Speaking of which, I know that you have something very exciting that's coming up quite soon. Would you like to share with the Raw Sisters here? I'm going to put a link in the comments, so but I'll let you tell them all about it.
Well, in my recovery, I've noticed a really important part of my recovery and to support me during the recovery was to resource. And one of the most important ways we can resource is to create healthy boundaries, both within ourselves and in relationship to others. So I've created a 3-day challenge called Badass Boundaries.
I just love that name. Like, that's just got such a good feel to it.
And some people freak out. It means that you've got a big no stamped on your forehead.
Oh.
That's not true. It's not true. You know, it can be, it's more about checking into what's in integrity with you. You know,
Absolutely. I mean, that's how I love that name, because it's just like, I'm standing up for what I believe in. It's not about closing down. It's like opening up and like, this is me and this is what I need. And I'm really honoring and respecting my needs. I'm listening to my needs and I'm not putting up with shit anymore. I mean, excuse the language, but you know, I love that. There's power and there's passion in that. And I'm sure the women here in Raw Sisterhood would really relate to that. It's about being fully owning who they are, you know, owning their authentic needs and desires and not putting up with less, because, you know, we deserve to have the best. See, it's brought passion. It's a very passionate topic, like badass boundaries. Like there's nothing kind of, I don't know, it's powerful, it's exciting, and it's a wonderful thing to be addressing.
Yeah, and we don't have to you know, create destruction in the midst of it. It's more around making conscious boundaries. I think this is important too. So the conversation is about consciously making, you know, boundaries, creating healthy relationships, because we often feel like we're a victim with other people. And there's always two roles. There's the person who's doing the thing, and then there's the person who's enabling it to happen by allowing it and responding in the same way over and over again, and then complaining that they're victimized. And I know I've done it myself. I'll fess up to it. I've been there. I've done that. And I think we all do at some point or other, in some way or other. And, you know, some people go, I don't need boundaries. But when you ask further, some people may have boundaries in most parts of their life, but they might have really bad boundaries with their partner, with a boss, with their child, with their parents, with a close friend that they don't want to hurt or rupture a relationship. So for some people, it's a general thing. For some people, it's very specific to certain situations, and we're going to look at that too.
I really like that distinction, that it's not necessarily in all one's life, but in particular areas. Sometimes I think it's even, people aren't even aware that they have very kind of sort of boundaries where they can, you know, get perhaps, you know, be in a situation that's not particularly supportive for them or the other person. So it's a 3-day challenge. So tell me a little bit of the structure.
A 3-day challenge. So it's going to be, the first day we're really going to explore, you know, the belief systems, the things that drive us, that we're not aware of. You know, the habitual patterns that we react to situations on autopilot versus responding from a conscious place. So we're going to examine those areas. And it's interesting because I was on a call, I'm not sure if you were on that call in the 5-day. This was the hot topic. This is why I spent 3 days doing it. It was a hot topic.
So this came out of your 5-day challenge. Yeah. This is the one that really resonated with people.
And the funny thing was, at first, you know, if people go, I've got good boundaries. And then when I name different things, well, not with my kids, not with this person. And every single person who said that they you know, they had good boundaries actually realized, you know, yeah, we all have these areas. And so the first day we're going to examine what lays underneath, and it's often what we don't expect. On the second day, we're going to be looking at how we often how we often ignore the warning signals. We're often so disconnected from our bodies, so disconnected from what's going on, so much in our heads, trying to be perfect, doing whatever it is that we do, ticking off the boxes, going about life, that we often don't realize what's going on underneath. So we're going to drop down, through the mind and the subconscious mind into the body, which is even deeper, and actually recognize, how that affects us, so that we create more of that mind body awareness. And in the third one, we're going to help each other. All the queens are going to help each other straighten their crowns and actually practice setting those boundaries, which, is fun, because you can do a lot of, a lot of lives and master classes that are talk, but I'm all into putting, to putting what we learn into practice. This is really important, so that we begin to build the muscle of creating change.
Sounds fantastic. So are you going to do that last day? Are you using breakout rooms, or is it just within?
I will be, and I may at any time in that too be doing breakout rooms, depending how many people, and just for the confidentiality as well, because it is going to be live streamed. So things of a more sensitive nature, we may choose to just do in breakout rooms.
And I just want to I don't know how many women in this group have not been into Zoom rooms, but I highly recommend say yes to it. Like, it's amazing how the level of intimacy and confidentiality and the depth of connection you can get from the digital platform, it's really quite extraordinary. So if you've never done it before, just say yes. I'll give it a go. I might feel really uncomfortable, but I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, and as I'm learning the technology, I'll teach you, Mandy, because we're both learning skills to do this, as we go on the fly.
We're learning to love tech, because tech gives us the freedom to do what we're doing now, which is extraordinary.
Well, to reach all of you all over the world.
So the time, tell me what time it's on and what date, like it'll be.
So we're starting in US, Canada time. We're going to be beginning on the 1st of September at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Asia Pacific. And like us, we're in Asia Pacific, Australia. It's 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is Sydney time. And I can send you those things as well to post underneath with the links, so people can figure it out. Also, I'll try to find a link for a time converter. So if you're in a completely different time zone, you can figure it out on the calculator. And the magic about doing the Zoom rooms on a live is that those who are on the call don't have to listen to everyone else, can do the exercise at the same time and participate and post and be a part of the challenge, whether, it's on the day or afterwards when, they may be asleep or at work or have young kids. So
we've got an option. I'm just want to clarify it for it. So people have the option of jumping into the Zoom, so they can do what we're doing here. And
live. So I'll give the link to join live. Once people join live, they can, join the Facebook group, because once they join the Facebook group, they can do the challenge, because we have daily prizes, and the grand prize for those who participates, because
and the grand prize, hang on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, because life rewards action. And if you take action and you participate in all 3 daily challenges, which are not difficult, it's just to keep you in practice so that you really get something out of this, you're in the draw for a prize worth $1,000.
Wow.
US, which is more than that in Australia land.
That's amazing. Oh my God. So I just want to say, hey, there's a few people on, like I'm getting better at looking at my phone to see who's on.
Hello.
I just want to say hello to Irina, Lotvin, you guys, She says, Brenda Gaynor, who's another gorgeous Aussie, who's such a fantastic woman, she's a kick-ass type of gal. She'd love this one. You know, that's sort of that languaging badass boundaries. I'm sure Brenda would particularly resonate with you. Brenda says, so important to ask for help. And friggin' love that, she said. So you can hear her wonderful energy. Would love to join. That's where I am, setting more boundaries. So she's got the emojis of the bomb going off, and the sort of bullseye. So, and sounds great, says Brenda. So thank you, Brenda, for being here live, and thank you, Irina. It's so fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic challenge. So we will put the links below, so you can either join. I can put the link to join your sisterhood as well.
Thank you.
Like that? Yeah. Below. So it's wonderful. I feel so blessed to have all these amazing women in my life with such a lot of talent, with such a lot to give. I think I've fallen in love with all my life coach sisters, because we have different flavors of what we offer, that there's such a passion and such a generosity of spirit that I feel we all have. It doesn't matter which part of the world that I've connected with. It's like I've met my sister here, and my sister in America and Canada and Switzerland, and it's quite a wonderful thing to be in this community. So I would love you, when you watch the replay, if you're watching live now, please put some comments. When you resonate with the sisters' comment, would you love them up? Give them a heart. Give them a heart or two, and maybe respond to what they say, or put your own, response in as well, because that's what creates community. So Mirella, is there anything else that you'd like to share with these gorgeous women?
I just appreciate that some women are on, because I can't see anything from where I am. So, a big shout out and a hello wherever you are. And thank you for your enthusiastic responses. And I have one message, you lady loves. It's time to stop settling and to start shining.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is what you do, Mandy, and this is why I love you so much. You are shiny, you are playful, you are authentic, you are real, and I just enjoy all our interactions together and just who you are. And I feel blessed that you are my sister down the road, and when lockdown's over, we can go walk the dog on the beach again.
It's a funny old reality we're living, but it's just, let's focus, let's put our attention on what we can do. What your intention is where you put your attention. So I'm putting my intention is to be expansive. My intention is to be the best woman I can be. I'm putting my attention on all those things. I'm not putting my attention on all the things that I could get paranoid about. I'm putting my focus on what it is I can do to be the best person I can be, and to connect with all you beautiful women as best I can be.
Oh, love this, and love you too, Mandy. So appreciate you. And yeah, looking forward to whoever pops on the call. Remember, it's time to stop settling and to start shining.
I love that. On that,
and to have some badass boundaries doing it.
Absolutely. So love you all. I'm going to stop streaming live now, and it's going to be a fantastic challenge.